We have talked in the past about the ocean economy, the way humans impact the ocean through economic activity. What we're now doing is focusing on how we can have a positive engagement with the whole ocean. And that means an economic activity that is beneficial for the ocean. And a lot of sectors affect the ocean, whether they're land or in the ocean directly. So we are looking at ways of creating activity and benefits for human that come from working with the ocean in a sustainable way. We call that the sustainable blue economy. We find that the ocean is the core of the ecosystem of our planet. So in using the ocean sustainably, we can deal with climate change challenges by protecting the sinks, the carbon sinks that the ocean provides. We can deal with food security in a way that we keep the marine biodiversity alive and thriving. So that helps us with global biodiversity. And we can engage, for instance, on coasts in a way that we keep the natural systems that provide us protection against storms, that provide us with resilience. So it's very beneficial for everybody who lives along coasts, who visits the coast. So coastal tourism that is done in a way that is responsible. And of course, transport that goes across the planet needs to do it in a way that it does not negatively impact the ecosystems. When we started Global Ocean Trust, we felt that we have to support innovative solutions around technology, around governance, and we bring to the table in particular an understanding of how finance functions. Finance is such a key tool, and if we use finance well for the ocean, we can help build the financial institutions, the financial assessments that allow us to invest responsibly, that help us build an ocean economy that is fair, just, and delivers in a responsible way, pro-conservation, pro-people and nature. And this financial tool has been missing a lot from the conversation. So we need to bring the financial institutions on board. And so that's the expertise we particularly try to support. We have, in the coastal area in particular, a number of ecosystems that deliver amazing benefits for the carbon cycle, for biodiversity. We call these the blue carbon ecosystems, and they include seagrasses, mangroves, salt marshes. They, in a very small area, sediment keeps a lot of the carbon, so they're part of the solutions we have to climate change. So by developing, restoring these natural systems, by looking after them, we create value, which is really important in the transition on the climate change side. So when we talk about blue carbon and blue natural capital, we talk about that capacity of nature to help us with the big climate challenge. What we see in the marine space is we have really three big areas to deal with. Where pollution, where things enter, contaminate the marine systems. We have too much activity that overuses the marine space. And then we have the implications of other activities like climate change that affect the ocean as a whole. So we need to change all of that. And the way to do that is to identify these marine solutions as part of the overall approach. So change what we can on land and at sea, but also support nature to recover. And that's the real big thesis. We can really invest in nature as a solution to our transition problems. Finance has to undergo a profound change towards understanding impacts of the activities that are being financed. And that means we need a financial framework around sustainability, which is being developed right now. And it's climate sustainability, it's biodiversity sustainability. But finance also is a massive tool to actually help companies transition in the right direction, to invest in what we call blue infrastructure, which helps nature to recover. So we need to move away from a way of thinking of finance as not having to deal about impact, having to think about the implications of what it does. So what we have, fortunately, now are global frameworks like the new Montreal biodiversity framework, which says, let's get rid of subsidies that support the wrong type of activities. Let's have a financial framework that targets the right kind of activities. And let's have the knowledge and focus of the financial industry itself on thinking about impact, on investing for nature, on land and at sea, because of course the ocean is the largest ecosystem we have. Italy is, for me, a fascinating example of the challenge. On the one hand, Italy has been exposed to the sea forever. It's a country on the coast, by the coast, really engaging with the marine sectors and spaces. And on the other hand, just like a lot of other advanced economies, we have lived off the riches of the seas and need to really shift our projection there. So I think Italy is one of the countries at the forefront of this transition, but there's a lot more to be done in Italy, in Europe, and everywhere. One of the countries I've really enjoyed working with is the Seychelles. Because it is an island nation, it is very aware of these key ocean issues. And what the Seychelles did was to really focus on the blue economy as part of their pathway. So they created a large-scale marine protection as part of their policy. They've raised a blue bond as a financing instrument for that marine protection, and they have thought of the sustainable blue economy as their future directive. So that's an excellent example of how a country can switch and focus on what is so critical.